People Station V103, the ATL's #1 fit poppin' R&B, inviting the entire planet to pull up at watchv103.com. In the building, one of my favorite heroes out here, my brother from another mother, Michael Eric Dyson. How you doing, Professor?
What's up? If I was big like you, I'd be big in the world, brother.
Oh, please.
Man.
How you doing?
Man, I'm fair for a square, Doc. Ain't nothing shaking but the peas in the pod. They wouldn't be shaking if the water wasn't hot.
Always with the bars.
Oh, man. I'm pretty fair for a square from Detroit, West Side.
Already?
You know, out here, man, in this world. It's a crazy, man, world out here now, Doc.
Look, the world has been, we had a nice piece of prosperity for a minute. Then these fools didn't do what they were supposed to with the polls, and now you got more to talk about than you ever thought you was going to have to talk about.
I mean, come on, man. We got a dude over here. Look, when Obama was in office, and he said that he said, I'm not going to just speak to our friends, I'll speak to our enemies. This is as a candidate.
Right.
Just projecting the kind of presidency he would have, that he didn't want to be closed-minded.
Right.
He want to talk to people even that were problematic. Oh, they lit him up. Fox News went into him. Oh, my God, he would talk to dictators without preconditions. He's horrible. Kim Jong-un, he's ridiculous. And now they got the man over there named Donald Trump talking to the dictator without preconditions, number one. Two, oh, we don't know what the deal is. We just made an agreement. Oh, okay. The terms will come later. Oh, I see. You signed an NBA contract, but you don't know what it's for. You don't know what the incentives are. You don't know if you have to play 80 games a year. Yeah, it's ridiculous, man. Oh, and how will you know? I don't need any preparation. Why? Because it's just my feel. I just feel it. So here's a guy motivated by his own instinct for entrepreneurship and business, running the world, dealing with a guy who has, human rights violations up the yin-yang,
right,
and American citizens who have been hurt, and this president has no understanding of the need to hold this guy accountable.
Right.
So he'll dog Obama, who is his fellow countryman,
right,
but embrace not only Kim Jong-un, but let's be real, trying to get Russia back into the G7.
Right.
That ain't the plane, y'all. Back into the G7 series of nations, people who are dictating the policy of this hemisphere and region. So we got a guy, man, this is what happens when you don't study in school. This is what happens. This is what this dude looks like. That's what you look like when you don't get your civics lesson.
Hey,
as my daddy used to say, they ain't learned you nothing in school.
Michael Eric Dyson, I guess. You got another new book.
I got another new book, man. I write books like write hooks.
Bars. Always bars.
Yeah, man. It's called What Truth Sounds Like.
Okay.
Robert F. Kennedy, James Baldwin, and our unfinished conversation about race. And this book is about a big meeting that James Baldwin had in 1963 with Bobby Kennedy, who was then the Attorney General of the United States of America. It's like Jeff Sessions meeting with Jay-Z. So, or some writers, because his friends were there too. His friends being, when you're James Baldwin, what are your friends? Okay, Harry Belafonte, Lena Horne, and Lorraine Hansberry.
Okay.
Yeah, just some little Baychella up in there.
No doubt.
So they meet with him and a guy named Jerome Smith, who was a Congress of Racial Equality, that is a core freedom rider, man. One of the most decorated freedom riders ever. He got beat to within an inch of his life several times. They were in the meeting. Bobby Kennedy thought they were going to be all nice and smooth, and grateful Negroes for what me and my brother, John F. Kennedy, the president, have done. They were like, nah, what have you done for us lately?
Hey,
First of all, you lying. You trying to act like you like us, but you really don't. You ain't putting forth no civil rights legislation. And by the way, you could talk about race not only as a political problem, but a moral issue. Use your bully pulpit to say something good and insightful. So they lit him up for 3 hours. He got mad. He sicked the FBI on them.
Wow.
The liberal white politician got the dossiers of all the people who were there gathered from the FBI. So if it wasn't already started, he started one. Then he calmed down. Then he said, if I was black, I'd feel rage too.
Right.
Then he said to his brother, why don't you give a speech on race that deals with the political aspects of it, but also the moral aspects? And then he himself began to rethink race and became one of the most fearless advocates for, racial justice in America, man. So that meeting had a heck of a consequence.
Right.
But it started off when he was getting ripped, and it was nasty. So the lesson to you kids, everything that begins negatively will not necessarily not end win positively.
That's right. That's a good lesson. So this book is delving into the meeting and the ramifications of the meeting?
Yes, right. Ramifications, man. So I spend one, in case you say it's a dry historical tome, we don't want to read it. Yeah, I got great history in there.
Okay.
And then I relate it to what's going on now. So I talk about Trump. I talk about Bernie Sanders. I talk about Hillary Clinton. I talk about Black Lives Matter. I talk about B&J. I got to do that.
Right.
I talk about hip-hop in general.
Right.
I talk about Lin-Manuel Miranda,
right.
From Hamilton fame. I talk about Daveed Diggs, who could spit too, who played Thomas Jefferson on there,
right.
and Leslie Odom, who played, the guy who killed, Hamilton,
right.
Aaron Burr. I talked to them. I talked to Mr. Wakanda himself, T'Challa. I talked to Chadwick Boseman.
No doubt.
I'm talking to people, man. I got people up in this book.
Okay.
So I speak to all of them and relating this book to all the issues going on now. And of course, I talk about the politics of athletics. The president trying to make people believe that if you are an NFL player and you take a knee, that you are somehow against the flag and you against the anthem. Stop lying. That is not true. They are not against the flag. They are not against the anthem. They are against injustice. They are tired of black people who are getting mowed down in the street, murdered without conscience by police people who are out of control. That's what they're protesting. I just spent the last weekend with Malcolm Jenkins, man, from the Super Bowl winning Philadelphia Eagles. And he held up the sign last week. He was like, y'all ain't listening. Y'all ain't listening. Y'all ain't listening. I might do that tonight. I got a book signing tonight. At 7 o'clock.
Where is it? Tell me where it's at.
Let me see where it is. It's at a church.
No.
Acapella Books is doing it, but it's at a church. Look, I'm going to get the name of it. You think I would know? You think I would know?
I mean, you got a lot of
Oakhurst,
these things.
Yeah, you know what? I love you, man. That's why you the man. That's why you the man.
You got a couple of these things happening.
Yeah, man. I think it's at Oakhurst. I want to say Oakhurst Presbyterian Church, but I'm looking quick because we got to tell the people where it is. Yeah, it's, okay, that's Seattle, so that would not be appropriate. If y'all in Seattle, come on out. It's at the Oakhurst Presbyterian Church.
Okay.
With Acapella Books. That's it. 118 2nd Avenue Northeast in Decatur, Georgia. Oakhurst Presbyterian with Acapella Books. I hope they let people cuss up in there, Jesus. But
don't go there, Mike.
Oh, yeah. I'll try to be smooth with the G's. I said
Jesus.
Yeah. At 7 o'clock, and I'm going to talk about that. I might hold up some signs like Malcolm Jenkins. He said, I'm tired of talking to you. You don't hear what I'm saying.
Right.
I'm trying to tell you it is not about that. Right? I'm going to be like LeBron. Get up and be better tomorrow. J.R. Smith, what were you thinking? I'm sorry. That ain't in my book, but that's in my mind. That's in my mind. I'm mad. Because that changed the whole series.
Oh, yeah.
If my man, this young people, another lesson. Know what time it is. Know what time it is.
Michael Eric Dyson hanging out with your boy Big Tigger. Quick question, because I never get to talk to you enough. When you see these people of color pull up with these "Make America Great Again" hats, and there's only a couple that we really talking about. What do you?
It's so sad.
How do you feel?
I mean, this is how I feel. Not just with my hands, y'all. Right. This is. Especially distressing. Look, let me put the truth on the table here. I spoke to Kanye. Kanye posted one of my texts to him, after he did his John Legend. I was like, man, what about if I'd have said something ill? Like, why you putting me on blast like that? But that's all right, because KOD, my man J. Cole said, like, look, bro, I'm calling you. Don't be telling the world. I mean, I'm doing it, all right? He apologized.
Okay.
I love Kanye. I called him up. I talked to him. I had talked to him a year and a half before. I said, look, if you ain't at the dinner, you on the menu. If you ain't the one dictating how your fame will be used, Donald Trump is playing you, sir. And I love Kanye. You ain't going to find a bigger boost of Kanye than me. But at the same time, since he's about truth and independent thought and analysis, can you take it? And the thing is, Kanye, you are a genius, no doubt about it. But if you are not informed about the fact that somebody told you the other day that black people used to be Republican and therefore it's okay to be Republican now, slow down. Slow down, Mace. You're killing them. We ain't been Republican en masse since FDR, homie.
Amen.
Franklin Delano Roosevelt, because we shifted over. Don't know if nobody told you. We're no longer Crips, we're Bloods. Okay, we shifted sides.
I'm talking to you right
my God. I mean, stop. Stop. No, we are not Republicans en masse because they are highly insensitive to our calls and claims and predicaments. They are, and they could take more advantage of us because a lot of black people are inherently morally conservative, even if they're politically progressive.
Right.
But so many Republicans are so racist that they won't even take advantage of the fact that they could have a natural affinity with black people who are morally conservative. So I told Kanye then, and I talked to Kim as well. I talked to both of them. I love both of them, but you were wrong, sir. This misrepresents who you are, but it especially misrepresents what America is to black people. And he admitted that he was on, that his own mental illness caused him to talk about, slavery as a choice. But the reality is some people just be quiet. Don't say nothing. Just be hush. Somebody's calling your name, but if you talking, you can't hear. But the reality is, I got to say this, I'm disappointed in him. Love your music. Love what you did with Daytona. Love what you're doing with Ye. Love Kids Got Ghosts or Kids See Ghosts. I hope the Nas joint is banging like that too. You know what I'm saying?
We got, listen, tell them where to meet you tonight because I got to go to break.
All right. Go to break. Yeah, and I ain't going to be back on the other side, god dang it, and I'm mad. Okay? I'm trying to take over this show. Look, Oakhurst Presbyterian Church, 118 2nd Avenue Northeast.
Yes.
I'm going to talk about the Royce the 5'9" album. How come anybody talking about that? That's one of the coldest albums out right now. That's one of the coldest albums. Everybody talk. And KLD, I love that. I love Daytona. I love Ye. I love Kids Will Go. But are you telling me you are sleeping on the Book of Ryan?
They haven't listened to it.
The Bob Lowe boat? Are you serious? Cocaine? This is one of the most rhetorically fluid, majestically, oratorically, wizard-like evocations of hip-hop ever. This dude is dropping mad science like his name was Einstein. Y'all need to pick that album up, man.
And most importantly, go pick up What Truth Sounds Like.
What Truth Sounds Like. If you ain't got but $2, buy one of each.
Michael Eric Dyson, everybody. Tell me how to follow you on social media,
man,
too, please,
I'm on Twitter at Michael E. Dyson, on Instagram at Michael Eric Dyson, on Facebook at Michael Eric Dyson. My mama called me Michael Eric Dyson. And when she did, she was mad. But don't y'all be mad. Call me.
Bro.
Love you so much more, man.